Hello and good morning, Suburban Outsiders. Today we're talking about raising rabbits. Uh, when you breed your rabbits, you want your male buck to fall off about 2 to 6 times, a minimum twice. What I do when I breed my rabbits, I have my male or my buck breed the doe about, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, early in the morning, whenever I feed them. And then I will take my buck out and put him back in his cage, and then 10 to 12 hours later, I will breed my buck to this doe again. I want him to fall off another 2 to 3 times. And that will ensure that your doe will be pregnant. It does not matter if her vent is pink. It does not matter if her vent is purple. It doesn't matter what color her vent is or if her estrogen is high or not. It doesn't matter. Just breed them and breed them multiple times, and then you'll have a good chance of having rabbits. With Champagne d'Argent, this is the breed of rabbit I use. They breed probably about 8 to 12 kits. And after you breed them, you're gonna want to write that down because write the date down that you bred them, because about 26 to 32 days they can have babies. They can kindle, and then after they kindle, you want to immediately check the nesting box in order to make sure that your rabbits have not died, because some of your rabbits can die at night or whenever. Usually they breed and they usually kindle at night, but you want to so if they kindle at night, it's colder at night and they can die. And if some of them die, then you want to take at least those rabbits out and try to revive them. I put them on my chest for like probably an hour to revive them, or I'll put them under a heat mat to revive them. Um, but if they don't live, then you just want to dispose of those, because if they stay inside your nesting box with the other rabbits, they will make them cold. A dead animal will turn like an icicle, so you don't want them in there. You want to get rid of them after you have had them kindle and they have bred and they have given babies. You want to check them every single day. Check the babies every single day. You can pick a time whenever, but you want to check them to make sure none of them are dead. Um, and if there's some of them are away from the hutch, or excuse me, away from the pile of rabbits, then you want to move that one back in the pile of rabbits so that it does not die, because she's only going to feed in one area. And if there's a rabbit that's like way away from the area of the rest of them, then she won't feed that one, and it will starve and it will die. So we're going to move it back and put it in the pile every time. At about 4 to 6 days, they will start to move around. They'll have full fur. They'll be ready to move out of their nest. And you want to leave that nest in there, but you want to let them do so. And when I have my nest, I have my feed way above or up above than what the babies can reach, because I don't want them to reach that and I want them to eat that. I want them to get their stomachs properly acclimated to eating hay, which is what I feed them. And this is low. As you can see, it's low inside the cage. The babies can eat that. That's what I want them to eat first. From about a week to 10 days, they'll start doing that. And then after about 2 weeks, they're going to start eating the pellets. And you're going to want to increase your mama's pellets, increase what you're feeding her, because they're going to need more food, because the babies are eating it as well. Then after about 2 weeks, going on to 3 weeks, your babies will start to be ready to eat other things. So I feed them mallow, I feed them dandelion leaves, I feed them grass, and I feed them lamb's quarters. I don't know the other name for it, but it's lamb's quarters is what it is. And I feed them that stuff, and it's all grows in my lawn, and I just pull it up and I grab it and I feed it to them, probably every day. And then after about 4 weeks, when you get to 4 weeks, your babies will be pretty much ready to be on their own, but you still want to leave them in there for 8 weeks altogether so that they can get the full nutrition that they need to get from mama's milk. And then after they get to about 6 weeks, then you want to split them up because they're going to start eating rabbits. About 8 weeks. You want to split them up so they can start, because they're going to start eating ravenously. They're going to eat so much because they're competing for food. So I like to split my rabbits up into groups of two, same sex, male, male, female, female, in groups. And I put them in different hutches. As you can see, I got different hutches over here for all the different babies. But because once they get to about 2 months, 8 weeks old, they're going to eat so much pellets competing with their siblings that you're going to waste pellets. You're going to spend a lot more money. It's way cheaper if you just split them up in groups of two. Ideally, one rabbit per cage would be the best idea, but I like to save space. I like to save money. So 2 rabbits per cage, and you'll spend about with 2 rabbits. It should be a half a cup, because with 2 rabbits, when at about 8 weeks, they should be less than 5 pounds together. They should be about 2 pounds, 2 to 2.5 pounds. So you don't want to spend more than uh, a half a cup for every 5 pounds. If it gets over that, then you want to increase it. So if it gets to a 10 pounds worth of rabbits, or a 10-pound rabbit, then you want to have them having a cup each of pellets. And this is 16% or more pellets. And then after they get about 2 months, then you want to start monitoring them to make sure that they're getting way enough water, because they're going to start drinking way more water at about two months. And then once they are over 2 months, when they get closer to 3 months, you want to split them up. If you haven't already, male and female, you want to split them up because they'll start breeding at about 12 months. I have these babies. Excuse me. These babies are 4 days old, and this is what they look like with Champagne d'Argence. They are born, people call them black, but it's not black. They're dark chocolate brown, but these rabbits, they are 4 days old, and you want to check them all the time. Like I said, pull back the fur. It is springtime. Actually, it's summertime, excuse me. So they don't need a lot of hay. They don't need a lot of fur. In the wintertime, you want to make sure that you get a lot of fur and a lot of hay in here to insulate them and keep them warm. Because just having them on the cage wire or having them anywhere where they're not insulated, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep them warm enough to survive. And I'm going to backtrack, but after about 10 to 14 days, I do mine at 10. After 10 days, I go into my rabbit hutch and I grab these guys out and I wipe their eyes. And the reason why I do that is because they're usually crusted because of the hay and all the dirt and stuff. They don't open their eyes, so they're blind. But after 10 days, they should be seeing stuff and they should be moving around where they can see what they're doing. So get a warm cloth, or you can use baby wipes, or you can use whatever you want. But I like to use. I don't like chemicals. I like a warm cloth on my babies, and I wipe their eyes with that until they open. Sometimes you have to grab them and open their eyes. You wet it with a warm cloth that has been saturated with water, hot warm water, and then you want to rub it across their eyes. And after like 5 or 6 rubs, you want to try to spread their eyes open if they're closed, and then keep doing that 8 times, and then spread it open a little bit more gently until they open their eyes so they can see. But just be forewarned. Once they can see, that's when they're going to start looking for other food. So the earlier you do it, the more money you're going to be spending on feed, because they're going to be going. They can see where they're going. They not only they can smell it, but they can see where they're going, and they will find the pellets and they will eat that stuff. um, but that's pretty much it. So uh, raising your rabbits to about 12 weeks. Once they get to 12 weeks, that's when I usually have had them go to a home, a forever home as a pet, or I harvest them. After 12 weeks, I'd say about 14 weeks, they're really not growing a whole lot. You're spending more money to feed them than you're spending than you are getting out of the money you would spend to actually buy the same amount of meat. So this is raising meat rabbits, and I apologize. This was not rehearsed. This is not edited. But if you like this content, please subscribe and hit the like button. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.